As expected, HendrickCars.com will sponsor Kyle Larson in 2021, and the 2021 Daytona 500 entry list has been revealed. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel, and welcome back to another video. We got quite a few NASCAR stories to discuss here today on the channel. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. We're going to go ahead and start off with Landon Cassill's 2021 Blue Emu paint scheme. It's pretty similar to the 89 paint scheme he had when he was over at Morgan Shepherd's team. It's also very similar to what he ran in iRacing. Scheme looks really, really cool. I don't know how many races Blue Emu is going to sponsor Landon Cassill in 2021. It looks pretty good in my opinion. Hoping Landon Cassill makes a show. I believe owner's points will help him get into the event. But that is going to be the Blue Emu scheme we'll see at the season opening Daytona race. The U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds will once again be doing their traditional flyover for the 2021. There have been some questions around if they were going to do the flyover once again in 2021 as they did back in 2010, 20, and have done for the past couple of years. It's really cool that U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds will once again be doing their traditional 500 flyover. It's a really good show, especially after National Anthem takes place. It's a really good thing. It gives a really good feel toward the event. Really awesome that they're going to be doing their traditional flyover for that event. It looks like Todd Peck is going to be entering the Truck Series opener for Daytona. There has been some skeptics around if Todd Peck will once again try to enter the Truck Series event, the season opener at Daytona. And it looks like Todd Peck will once again be entering the season opener for the Truck Series at Daytona. It is really cool that he's going to be attempting the Daytona season opener. It will help the entry list as well. Again, I don't know how quick his truck will be. I think they're going to be really, really slow. Hopefully, they can make the show. It's going to be a really cool story if Todd Peck is to make the show this year. Hopefully, he is able to do that. I'd like to see that definitely for sure. Kyle Busch is going to has announced his 2021 Truck Series schedule. Usually runs 5 Truck Series events in 2021. And once again, he will just do that. His 5-race schedule is going to start off on March 5th on Las Vegas. Then a few weeks later, he will race at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Then April 17th, he'll race at Richmond. May 1st, we'll race at Kansas. And then June 26th, he will race at Pocono Speedway. I would not be shocked if he wins all of his races, but to be honest with you, I don't think he's going to win all 5 races he enters. I think he gets at least 3 of those 5 wins. I definitely think Atlanta is very easy for him. Same with Vegas. I think those races are going to be easy. And I would not be surprised if he wins at Kansas and would not also be surprised if he wins at Pocono. The Richmond one is very interesting. I really am not 100% certain if Kyle Busch is going to win at Richmond, but I do think he's going to at least win 3 or 4 of the events he's going to run. But those are the 5 races Kyle Busch is going to run. So some people probably are not going to tune in those events because they think Kyle Busch is going to easily win, but I think he gets at least 4 or 5 of those wins in 2021. Cody Ware is going to drive the number 17 for SS Greenlight Racing at the season opener at Daytona. Remember, it was announced this past weekend that Rickwa Racing will be partnering up with SS Greenlight, and their second car, which was originally the 08 car, was going to be their second car was going to be a partnership with Rickwa Racing, and they were going to be using the 17 instead of the 08. Now, it'll be a rotation of Cup Series drivers, and Cody Ware is going to be driving full-time for Rickwa Racing in the Cup Series, so it is no surprise that Cody Ware is going to be driving a season opener for this team at Daytona. Cody Ware's actually had a pretty good run the last time he ran a Super Speedway, which was at Talladega Super Speedway in the Cup Series. Unfortunately, crashed on the last lap. He's running in the top 20 in that event. And I think Cody Ware is a pretty good Super Speedway racer, and I would not be shocked if he does pretty well in this event if he's able to make it. Now, I think that car is using the 08 points, if I'm not mistaken, so I think he will have enough owner's points possibly to get in the event. Hopefully he will, but Cody Ware will attempt the race. Really, really cool. I believe it's going to be a Chevy as well for that organization. Really cool that Cody Ware is going to be attempting the event at Daytona International Speedway. The next thing we're going to go over is talking about Jesse Wuji, as he is going to be making his Truck Series return in 2021 at Daytona, driving for Raymond Brothers in the number 34 truck. Jesse Wuji, for those who know, I believe is like, I can't remember what position he is in the Navy, but Jesse Wuji is going to be once again making his return to the Truck Series in 2021 at Daytona. Now, the big question is, does he have, the question is that does Jesse Wuji have enough points to make it in this race if the car is able to make it enough speed? Now, I don't think this car is really going to overall have a lot of speed to get into the event. So does this car have enough owner's points to back it up? That's my first question. The second question is, how many races is Jesse Wuji going to run with the Raymond Brothers? Is this only going to be a 1-race deal, or is he going to run the flagship 33 car for multiple events? Because we do know that Keith McGee is going to run Rich, though the amount of races that he's going to run this year has not been announced at this current time. And we also know that Jake Griffin is going to run both of the dirt races. So is Jesse Wuji going to run more races in 2021 and not just this event? I really don't know. I really would like to see him run more races because I like him a lot. I don't think he's like the best overall driver, to be honest, but it'd be really cool if he got to run some more races in 2021. I would really like that. I hope he gets more opportunities to race this year. I really do. And now running on to the next story of today's episode. Originally, we thought that Nemco Motorsports was not going to be driving this year in 2021 for the Daytona season opener. But now, things have changed. Joe Nemechek is going to be attempting to run a Daytona Truck Series opener for the number 18 with Nemco Motorsports. I am so happy that Nemco Motorsports is showing up this year at Daytona International Speedway to run. And to be perfectly honest with you, Joe Nemechek is actually a really good super speedway racer. He's been able to win super speedway races in the NASCAR Xfinity Series, especially at Talladega Super Speedway. I think back in 1999, he beat Terry Labonte in a photo finish. So he knows how to get it done on super speedway racetracks. And I think got a top 10 a couple years ago as well with Nemco Motorsports. So this car does have some pretty decent speed. Now, hopefully, this car will have enough speed to make the event because it'd be really cool if Joe Nemechek was able to work with John Hunter, who's going to be at KBM this year. It'd be really cool if those two hooked up together and were able to get a 1-2 finish in the Truck Series. Wouldn't that be a way to start the season opener for the Truck Series? That'd be really, really cool. But yeah, I'm really happy that Joe Nemechek is going to be attempting to run this year's Truck Series opener at Daytona, and it does overall help the field for the event. The next thing we're going to go ahead and talk about is the Rookie of the Year entries for this year for the Cup Series, the Truck Series, and the Xfinity Series as well. Let's start off with the Cup Series. There's only going to be 2 rookies this year in 2021. Those are going to be Chase Briscoe and Anthony Alfredo. Now, there have been questions around if Ross Chastain was going to be eligible for the Rookie of the Year this year or not. But Ross Chastain has ran a couple full-time seasons in the Cup Series of Premium Motorsports, so that's why he's not going to be eligible. So those are going to be the 2 rookies for the Cup Series. The Xfinity Series, there's actually a few more rookies that are going to be running. You're going to have Jordan Anderson, Ryan Vargas, Sam Mayer, Josh Berry, and Ty Gibbs, who are going to be the rookies contending for that as well. And then for the Truck Series, you're going to have Chandler Smith, Carson Hocevar, Chase Purdy, Haley Deegan, Tim Veens, and Chris Wright are going to be the 6 rookies for the Truck Series. Here's who I think is going to win the Cup Rookie of the Year. This should be no surprise. Chase Briscoe. Chase Briscoe at SHR is overall at a better car compared to Anthony Alfredo. I think Alfredo will have some decent runs this year with front row this year, but I think easily Chase Briscoe is going to win the Cup Series Rookie of the Year. The Xfinity Series, I think it really could be anybody's game right here because even though I do think Mayer, Berry, and Gibbs are overall going to perform better, I don't know if they're going to be able to pick up enough points to be a guy like Jordan Anderson or Ryan Vargas. But I would not be surprised if it actually went to Sam Mayer for the Rookie of the Year, though I do think Ty Gibbs and Josh Berry might be in the running for that as well. As for the Truck Series, I think it's going to easily go to Chandler Smith for the Rookie of the Year this year since he's at Kyle Busch Motorsports, and I think he's overall a talented driver. I think second place is going to come down between Chase Purdy and Haley Deegan, but I think Deegan will end up finishing second in the runner-up. But I think Chandler Smith easily is going to win the Truck Series Rookie of the Year. So those are going to be the people that are going to be contending for the Rookie of the Year honors in 2021. The next thing we're going to go ahead and talk about is James Buescher. That's right. James Buescher is going to be attempting the Daytona Truck Series opener in 2021 with Nice Motorsports in the 44 truck. Now, this is not the first time that James Buescher has drove in the last couple years. James Buescher actually last year ran a Texas Motor Speedway, but I think he ended up finishing like out just inside the top 20. He really wasn't that impressive. But James Buescher does have quite a bit of experience on super speedways. Now, he's never won a super speedway event, but he's competed at many of these super speedway events, and he knows how to get it done. Now, how likely do I think James Buescher is going to make the event? I think he's actually going to make the event pretty easily. I think he's going to end up having top 15 speed. And I wouldn't be surprised if James Buescher, knowing how super speedway racing works, I wouldn't be surprised if he's able to make it to any race. I would not be shocked, especially since those East Motorsports trucks seem to be pretty competitive on super speedways. I mean, Trevor Bayne almost won a super speedway event at Talladega, but only ended up getting beat by Rafael Sard in a photo finish when the caution came out. So I wouldn't be surprised if James Buescher is able to come. I mean, he won a championship back in 2012, but he's never won a super speedway event in the Truck Series, but in the Xfinity Series, he actually does have a win. It went a very crazy finish when a bunch of the leaders end up wrecking. He just survived to end of the day, but he still has a win at a super speedway. But it's really cool James Buescher is coming back. A former champion is making returns. I'm wondering how many races James Buescher is going to run this year. If this is only going to be a one-off for him this year like it was last year, or if he's going to run multiple events. We know that Bailey Curry is going to be running multiple events this year with that 44 car this year, one of the events being a Circuit of America. So I'm wondering if James Buescher is going to run more events in 2021. But yeah, it's really awesome. James Buescher is going to be making some starts this year in 2021 in the Truck Series. That's really, really awesome. And now we're getting on to the first of two major stories of today's episode. The 2021 Daytona 500 Intros has officially been revealed, and there are going to be 44 cars attempting to make this year's Daytona 500. Now we know the 36 charter cars we do not have to worry about. The 8 cars that are going to be competing to make this year's Daytona 500 that are not already locked in are Austin Cindric, Timmy Hill, Garrett Smithley, Ty Dillon, Kaz Grala, Noah Gragson, Kaz Grala, and then the last one, if I remember correct, there's 8 of them that are going to be attempting to make this year's Daytona 500. Now, I'm going to tell you the 4 that I think are very likely, that I think easily are going to make the event. The 2 that I think, it's Ryan Preece as well. The 2 that are going to make the event easily on speed, I think on pole day, are going to be Ryan Preece and Austin Cindric. Austin Cindric is going to have Penske backing very easily, and those cars generally qualify up in the top 15, top 20, and then if he doesn't make it in on speed, he's going to really have help. I think he's easily one of the first ones that are going to get in. The second one I have for sure making it in on speed is going to be Ryan Preece. I mean, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., who won the pole last year for this team, so I think very easily Ryan Preece will be able to make it on speed, essentially with the Hendrick engines. The 2 that I think are going to make it in virtually on the race days are going to be Kaz Grala and Noah Gragson. Those are the 2 that I think are going to make it. So the 4 that I think are going home are going to be David Reagan, Ty Dillon, Garrett Smithley, and Timmy Hill are going to be the 4 that I think are going to go home for the event. The drivers that I think are overall going to be going for the pole are going to be all 4 Hendrick cars, Bubba Wallace, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. are going to be the 6 that I think are going for. And I really wouldn't be surprised if it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr. surprisingly wins it, but I think it's going to be a Hendrick car or a Bubba Wallace that's going to be taken overall for that pole position. So that is the Daytona 500 interest that has been revealed. This might actually be the last time we see more than 40 cars enter for quite some time due to the next-gen car coming and the upkeep costs in that next-gen car costing a lot more than originally. But yeah, there is your 2021 Daytona 500 interest. I'm super excited for tomorrow, and Daytona 500 pole qualifying is going to be later this afternoon, and we will discuss that on this channel when that is officially complete for qualifying. And now we're getting on to the final major story of today's episode. As expected, HendrickCars.com is officially going to be sponsoring Kyle Larson and for 2021. Now, the races that were announced were not given at this time, but the first race that Kyle Larson will have with HendrickCars.com is going to be at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We know the first 3 races are going to be sponsored by Nation's Guard, but the 4th race is going to be the first race that we will see HendrickCars.com as a main sponsor. And it's very similar to William Byron's sponsor last year. Again, it looks pretty good. I was actually kind of a fan of the HendrickCars.com scheme last year that William Byron would have. And it's also kind of a throwback. To like the old Brian Vickers schemes he had when he won the championship in 2003 with Hendrick in the Busch Series and Ricky Hendrick had as well in the Truck Series. So it's really cool that HendrickCars.com is going to be sponsored. I do have a few questions around this. 1, how many races is HendrickCars.com going to sponsor Kyle Larson? Are they going to sponsor him for a majority of the year, or are they going to split it up with Nation's Guard sponsoring for quite a few events, and maybe like HendrickCars.com splitting up for certain events as well? And another big question is, when are other sponsors, unlike Cincinnati Incorporated and Freightliner, going to eventually sponsor Kyle Larson? The fact that Kyle Larson already has outside sponsorship willing to sponsor him for 2021, like Freightliner and Cincinnati Incorporated, though those are only 2 races each. Those races have not been announced at this moment, but we at least know that there's going to be 4 races. Again, I think the reason that the number of races have not officially been given at this current time is because there's a possibility that Kyle Larson, for all we know, might get some major outside sponsorship. Like Pepsi, maybe Gillette comes in as sponsors for all we know. Maybe some other sponsors from other teams, maybe former sponsors that Kyle Larson had was over at Chicken Assy. Maybe for all we know, Matt TV jumps on and sponsors Kyle Larson. That's something that we're going to have to watch in 2021 is a sponsor game. At least the good news is that Larson does have a few sponsors back, and I think this will help overall keep Kyle Larson at that organization past 2021. Because that's the only thing that's really holding back Kyle Larson for returning in 2022 to Hendrick is a sponsorship game. But it's no surprise Hendrick's going to be paying out of pocket. Again, this is not an official sponsorship for Kyle Larson. This is technically something that is working with Hendrick Motorsports and someone that is working with Rick Hendrick. But it is cool that some other sponsors that are outside of Hendrick Cars is going to be sponsoring Larson this year. And it's also cool that we at least will have some Larson we pretty much funded for the full season. It's really cool that HendrickCars.com is going to be sponsoring Kyle Larson for 2021. We're just going to have to watch and see what other sponsors are going to be willing to sponsor Kyle Larson for 2021. So, anyway, that is going to be for today's NASCAR news video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe to the channel, turn notifications so you can be notified when a video does go live on my channel. What are your thoughts on Kyle Larson getting HendrickCars.com, and how many races do you think HendrickCars.com will sponsor Kyle Larson for 2021? Let me know in the comments below. And what are your thoughts about the Daytona 500 interest? And tell me which four you think are going to get in and which four are going to be eliminated. Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you like so YouTube can recommend more of these great videos out to you guys. If you do that, I greatly appreciate it. And follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and support me on Patreon as well. Links in the description below for that. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care, everybody. We're officially in race week. Let's go.